This is the new Kia Picanto, also known as the Kia Morning, and in some parts of the world, the Kia New Morning, and additionally, the Kia Eurostar. So it comes under a number of different names. The actual word Picanto comes from the Spanish word of picante, which means hot and spicy. And I think that's where Kia were going when they were naming this car. It's a hot, spicy little hatchback. It was launched way back in 2004, so it's been around for a while. This is its third generation, and the car has appealed to mainly new drivers and elderly drivers, believe it or not. And I think that is down to the fact that it's very good on its insurance rating and on its economy. However, Kia want this to be more versatile, to be more appealing to a much wider audience with its more spacious interior, with its much better tech that it now has. And to be honest, its all-round more refined driving experience. But has it got what it takes? Let's find out. Most of the changes on the new Picanto, believe it or not, are underneath. The chassis is absolutely fantastic. So are the new stiffer anti-roll bars. You've got retuned dampers and springs on this car as well. And there's an all-new torsion beam system for the rear suspension. It's absolutely amazing going around bends, trust me, this car loves it. 6 different colour options, yes, 6 different colour options. However, the only one that comes as part of your price is Honeybee Yellow, very aptly named. Which is, it's okay. I mean, have a look online, you'll see all the colours. You can do a configuration on the Kia website. If you want the blue like this, for example, or the white, then they will be an extra £270. And if you want any of the premium colours like Silver Frost, Midnight Black or Chili Red, £540 extra. The entry-level car comes with 14-inch rims. They are the steel rims. However, this car is the number 2. It's the second level up, and it gets 14-inch alloys. The Picanto comes in 7 different trim levels. Your entry-level car is the Picanto 1, would you believe, very aptly named. The one will cost you around about £10,980 from that price. And it's not a bad trim level, to be honest with you. It is the entry level, so you're not going to get things like aircon, but you will get 14-inch rims, you get a trip computer, remote central locking, bits and pieces like that. If you want to move up to the next level, which ironically is the Picanto 2 trim, the Picanto 2 will set you back around about just shy of 13,000 UK pounds, about 12,800 and something pounds, which again isn't too bad. And then you do get things like leather steering wheel, you get your aircon, start to get a little bit more bang for your buck. But if you really want bang for your buck, then I recommend you go for the Picanto level 3. And that will get you pretty much everything you need and will cost you around about £14,400. Again, not a bad price at all for the amount of spec that you actually get when you need to have a chat with your Kia salesperson when you go down there. They'll tell you all the bits and pieces that you get for the money. Top end cars are the GT-Line and the GT-Line S, and then there is an X-Line and an X-Line S as well. These cars all start from around £14,000, and as I said, best to chat with your salesperson when you go down for a test drive for all the bits and pieces, because some have got more than others, but some are more sporty than others, and I think you'll get the gist of it when you get down to the showroom. Let's check out under the bonnet. The bonnet release catch down here in the driver's footwell, very easy to pull. Don't forget, if you're in a left-hand drive car, it's going to be in the passenger footwell. They're not going to move it just because it's left-hand drive. The actual bonnet release catch, very easy to find, dead centre, right in front of that nice little Kia badge. Lift the old bonnet up, and what have we got? Well, it's a decent little 1 litre engine. We'll talk about that when I've made this safe. Just behind that coolant there, there's a little hole you put your bonnet stay in. So, 1 litre 3-cylinder engine. This particular one develops 66 brake horsepower. It is the naturally aspirated engine. There is a turbo power, we'll talk about that in a second. The naturally aspirated engine has the choice of either a 5-speed manual or a 5-speed auto gearbox. However, it will get you 0 to 60 in about 14.5 seconds. Not the quickest in the world. If you jump up to the next engine, it will give you 99 brake horsepower. It's a turbo, it's the same engine, it's the same 3-cylinder petrol 1 litre engine. However, you can't have it in an auto, you can only get it in the manual. But it will do 0 to 60 in 9.9 seconds. It's a little bit faster than the other one. I know what my choice would be, but then again, you can only get that turbo-powered engine in the upper trim level, so you are going to be paying a little bit more money. The Kia Picanto is extremely good when it comes to economy. If, for example, you take the 66 brake horsepower non-turbo version engine, marry it up with a manual 5-speed gearbox, you'll be looking at between 55 and 59 to the gallon. That is some serious mileage. If you swap that gearbox for an automatic gearbox with the 66 brake horsepower engine, you'll still be looking at between 52 and 54 to the gallon. Not a lot of difference, but personally I prefer the manual gearbox in this car. If you do jump up to the 99 brake horsepower turbo version of this car, then you will be looking at between 49 to 53 to the gallon. There's a little bit of a difference there, but at the end of the day, you get a little bit more bang for your buck when it comes to the power on the engine. Right, let's check it out up front for the driver, see what you actually get for your money if you're the guy buying this car. Well, first up, let me tell you, it isn't keyless entry and it isn't keyless ignition because this is a level 2 car. You do get that on the higher levels. Anyway, we're talking about this car in question today, so we will need to use the key, like the good old days. So it has an ignition over here, a little key slot, and we'll just turn it so it's on. It's going to beep a couple of secs just to let me know that I've left the door open, you know, whatever's going on. It's doing its little safety checks. First up, the thing you're going to notice when you get in this car is how comfortable these seats are. I was blown away. I was not expecting, I thought I'd be sitting up here like a little noddy car, you know, where you actually sat on the seat rather than in the seat. But these are superbly comfortable. I've been driving it for over a week now, and it really has, you know, it's just unbelievable. There you go. So I'm ranting and raving about the seats. One thing I'm not ranting and raving about is this steering. Unfortunately, when it comes to adjustment, this is all you get. Yes, down and up, down and up. Nothing else. You can't pull it out, you can't push it forward. It is stuck like that. So that is a major faux pas in my opinion, because to be honest, if you're quite a larger person, then you really are going to need to adjust this. And if you're short and you have to come in tight, then you're going to be all right. So really it was made for short people who don't need much leg space and like to drive their car like that. Anyway, there you go. No digital cluster on this car. It's an analog system, but it does have a trip computer in the middle. Now, the trip computer it's changed over here on the right hand side. Very, very simple buttons and layout on this steering wheel itself. And also I might add, because this is level 2, it's a leather clad steering wheel. Oh yes, level 2 darling, don't you know. On the right hand side here is your little button. You push that once and you will scroll across on the menu there. When you get to the designated area you want to be in, you can then use the knurled button to move up and down to change different features, which is rather good. And when you find that feature you want to stick with, you can then push OK. How simple is that? There you go. Even a non-genius like myself can work that one out. On the left-hand side here, we have our telephone control system, because you can plug a telephone into this car, as in your mobile phone, which is what I'm talking about. Android or Apple, whichever you prefer, and that can be on and off. So if you want to end the call, you just push that button there. If you want to answer the call, you push that button there. Nice and neat. Again, simple, simple. And the mode button up here, well, that just changes the difference. So you got, look, this even has medium wave radio on it, and it also has FM, and it's a DAB as well. So that's your mode button there, and you change that easily on the top. That's your mute button. Now on some models, that's actually an Ask Siri button, or not Ask Siri, ask whoever manufacturer it is, so we'll call it Ask Kia button in this case. Push that and it goes, oh, I want to know where the nearest burger bar is, and it will tell you and manipulate you and send you there. This one doesn't even have a sat nav. It's just lovely, lovely. Nothing can go wrong. No one to talk to you, those irritating voices. Left hand side, volume button up and down. Right hand side, scroll between the channels. Simple as, you can see it moving around there. There you go. Medium wave, short wave, whatever wave you want. let's go a little bit retro here. Check it out, guys. This is old school. This is 80s. Look, you got a button in the middle. That changes the fan speed. Yeah. On the right here, it's either hot or cold. Love it. And on the left here, you can adjust it where you would like that air to come out of. How simple is that? This car does get aircon. The entry-level car doesn't get aircon, unfortunately, but this car gets aircon. You've got a rear heated screen button over there. Let's talk a little bit about up here, because I do like it. You do have your phone buttons up here. You've got your radio, your media, your clock, your menu, and all your other bits and pieces. It's nice and simple, and that's what I love. And even the buttons down the bottom here, look at that. You can put your four favourite radio stations in. Mind you, I suppose when you get to a certain age, there's only really 4 stations you really want to put in there, isn't there? Most of the time, if you're young and you've got one of these cars, you're going to be plugged in using the USB there. You're going to be playing your tunes straight off of your phone. Let's face it. Likewise, who needs a nav system? You can use Waze or Google Maps or any other one of the apps that you can get and stick it in there and it'll still do the same job for you. So you don't really need the extra, you know, when you're paying all that extra money. And that's what I like about this car. It's nice and standard. Double cup holder at the front here. And also, when I can find my phone, I think I put it in the side here. I did, actually. This is what I wanted to show you. You can put your, well, this is an Apple iPhone 8 Plus, so it's quite a big phone, but it will go straight down in there. It's perfect, just in front of that double cup holder. If you don't want it to roll about in there, you can put it in the top bit up there as well. So when you plug it in, then it all works. 12-volt adapter next to it, lovely. Manual 5-speed box, we spoke about that. Anti-stall button here, yes, we like that as well. So if you want to be all eco-friendly, man, when you get out in town and you're sitting in traffic, you can leave that off and the engine will stop automatically. And as you move forward, the engine will start again. It's all very eco-friendly. If you get really fed up with that, that's the button to turn it off with. And that's the button I normally inevitably hit, because doesn't it drive you mad when that engine keeps starting and stopping and sometimes it doesn't start in time and people are hooting, oh my. Manual handbrake, love a manual handbrake, and we've got a couple of places to stick bits and pieces here. There's an even bigger, huge cup holder at the back there as well. Glove box, let's just check out the glove box. You've got to see that. Oh, here we are, look at that, the Holy Kia Bible. Look at the size of that. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the book in here. Look, it is absolutely huge. Psalm 95 on page 586. Yeah, right. You know, how do I change the fuse on a Kia? Okay, let me spend 3 hours just thumbing through my booklet. Oh, come on, Kia, please. Most of this we can get online. We don't need it. Look, it's huge. Do you know what? If you did away with this and, you know, got rid of it, first of all, look how much room you'd have in your glove box. Just ridiculous. Stupid. And the cost of this, spare wheel, jack and your spanners and things like that, wouldn't need to pay for it if you didn't want one of these. Maybe they should give us an option and see how many people actually go, oh yes, I'll take the manual, the owner's manual. How many would turn around and say, no, I'd rather have the spare wheel instead? I wonder. Anyway, if you think like me, comment in the box down below, because I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on all these stupid accessories that we don't need anymore. Taking up all that room as well. Anyway, there you have it, up front in the Picanto of all cars. I love it. When it comes to safety, the Picanto doesn't disappoint. You get a number of different safety aids depending on what trim level that you actually end up going for. It's well worth checking those out. One thing all Picantos get are 6 airbags and autonomous emergency braking, which will save you those odd moments, you know, those potential little accidents when you're driving around town, especially. The only car that doesn't get that is the entry-level car. That's the 1 level, which unfortunately you will have to pay for a driver's assistance pack, which is an extra £350. But that will bring the car up to the same level as the other Picantos. There's an NCAP level 4 rating, which, believe it or not, is better than a Toyota Aygo and better than a VW Up. All Picantos get an alarm and an immobiliser. Round at the back of the Picanto, it's not bad. It's a little bit beige in design, if you get my drift, but apart from that, it's quite neat and tidy. I think that's the best way of looking at it. You've got DAB radio aerial up here, which reminds me of those 70s mobile phones with the whopping great pointy bit that used to stick up. You've got a stoplight built into a bit of aero on the top here. It's not bad. I think this is probably more for keeping the rear screen as clear as possible. You do get a wash and wipe on this, which is not too bad. You get a floaty screen. Yeah, I call them floaty screens for a reason, because if you look, there aren't any rubbers, and it gives it a much sort of nicer pin sharp line. Also stops the water sitting in the rubber and rotting away at the metal. You've got your Kia badge in the middle. I like this new design of the Kia badge. I think that's really cool. Your Picanto over there, and not forgetting your 7-year warranty badge here, which I think Kia should be very proud of. But all in all, it's not a bad looking bit. There's no big exhausts on the back or anything like that, and it's a decent sized rear screen as well. Let's take a look inside. Pop it open there. There's no electric, it's not electronically assisted. Decent gas struts though. Aha! My inevitable, my nemesis, the parcel shelf. Yes, if you've ever watched me before, you will know I absolutely hate these unless you can get rid of them somewhere within the car. Because if you are out and about and you now need to use this as extra space, I'm not talking about putting your shopping in here, I'm talking about putting a bike in here, or a pushchair or a pram or a buggy or something. This gets in the way, and it always ends up someone having to sit with it on their lap, or you end up having to put it on the front seat, I've even seen. So I always have to say, if it goes under, it's good, it stays. If it doesn't, we throw it. So let's check it out. Before we check it out, I just want to point out one thing down here. We can take the whole boot floor out. I'm going to put that round the side there. It's very simple, nice and lightweight as well. Now this car comes with the horrible puncture repair outfit, you know, with the pump and all. I mean, these really do need to be thrown away. It's just terrible, appalling. They don't work. You pour the latex in, it goes all over the place, it stinks, it doesn't pump up because you've damaged the wheel, not the tyre, for example. If you had a spare wheel, which this car can accommodate, a full spare wheel as well, then it would save all the trouble. You just need to jack it up, take the wheel off, put a new one back on and put your old one back in here. Following day, go and get it replaced. None of this stupid stuff. And once you've put the latex in your tyre, you can never use that tyre again. It's completely finished. So, you know, pointless. Buy yourself a spare wheel. When you buy one of these cars, it's an extra, it's worth getting. Or buy some run flats and don't have anything under there. We were going to say about putting, I was just about to put the boot floor back in there. We're going to see if the parcel shelf goes in. It pops out fairly easy. It's quite a rigid one. It's decent, it's not cheap. I've decided I'm going to put it in upside down because it'll protect it even more. I don't think it's actually designed to take the parcel shelf, but it goes in. And that's what I said at the beginning of this. If it goes in, then great, we're happy with it. We don't mind it. Now, we put the boot floor back in, if you can call it that, and it does actually sit flat. And if you're going to put some stuff in just on a short journey, be absolutely fine. 60-40 split. Let's do that the other way. 60-40 split. There you go. Did it right the second time. Very easy to pop these down as well. Now this really does increase the boot space because, to be honest, the boot space that you've got at the back here isn't that great, not when the seats are up. But you will be able to get a few shopping bags in. And there are some shopping bag holders, one there and one there. Well, there would be, wouldn't they? Because this is the perfect car for going shopping in. Put your little bags in the back. When those seats are down, it is a much bigger space. You will get a decent sized pushchair or buggy in there, maybe even two at a push. You might even get a bike in there with both wheels off as well, which is possible if you know what you're doing. But all in all, you know, it's enough in there to get your bits and pieces in there, or if you had to, get a couple of dogs in there. One thing I did notice, first up, look at the gap there, the ridge on these, where the seats are sitting. So you try and put anything in and push it, it's going to get stuck there. And also, there is a huge drop here, so everything you're going to be putting in and pulling out of here is going to be scratching along here. Again, when you're talking to your Kia salesperson, ask them about the protective covers that they sell that can go on there. They're very inexpensive and they're really worthwhile getting. Just a little pointer that I thought I might as well make while we were at it. With all new Picantos, you get a 7-year or 100,000 mile warranty, which is simply fantastic. Kia have been leading the way with warranties for a number of years now, and I think it is a great selling point when you're buying a Kia car, especially a Picanto as well. You not only get that, but from the day you drive the car out, you get 3 years unlimited mileage. So basically the way it works is, for the first 3 years, you're on unlimited mileage, and thereafter you've got another 4 years or whatever is the balance up to 100,000 miles. Either way, it's an absolute amazing warranty. You get a 10-year or 100,000 mile drivetrain warranty as well. That's like your engine and your gearbox bits and pieces. On top of that, there's a 12-year anti-corrosion or anti-perforation warranty, a 5-year or 100,000 mile paint warranty, and as if all that wasn't enough, then when you drive a new Kia out of the showroom, you will get 1 year's roadside assistance as well. Also, just to mention that all of these warranties, if you sell the car within that 7-year period, are transferable to the new owners. Let's check it out in the back for the passengers. First up, I've noticed these doors do go back really nice so you can get in and out quite easily. So if you are having to shuffle around with baby seats or toddler seats, or you've got elderly people in here trying to help them in and out, then that's really going to help. I've also noticed, because this is a level 2 car, you get rear electric windows. Ooh. And one thing I love about Kias, the windows go all the way down. They don't stop halfway like a lot of the other cars that we've done recently do. And I like that, because that means if your kid is feeling a little bit sick, they're going to manage to get it out. If the window's halfway up, it's going to be splattering back on them, isn't it? Think about it. Let's jump in, let's have a look. Well, you know, this is the level 2 car. It's the sort of second up from the entry level, so it's going to be a bit basic. The material in here it's nice, it's comfortable, the seats are quite firm, I must admit. I think you'll find that when you actually, don't forget, when you're test driving one of these cars, don't forget to sit in the back as well, because if you have got kids or, you know, people who are going to be getting in the car with you, you need to see if it's comfortable for them as well. Not that you care that much, but you know what I mean. You've got places, again, you know, why we still have these, I don't know. What's the point? It save some money. They've saved some money there. There isn't one there. There's only one pocket here. So I suppose you could put your iPad in there, or, you know, if you've got kids in the back, place to store a few bits and pieces. Nothing really in the back here. There's no chargers. There's nothing, not even a, you know, there's no even independent heating. I don't think so. It will be, when you go up the levels, when you get to the sort of top levels, you will start getting that. You get the arm, you know, the armrest, you get the bit that jumps down here. Yeah, lots of extra bits and pieces, really nice. Isofix points. Now, the one thing I love about Kia, they don't go with all these fancy schmancy, you know, sort of like the plastic things that pop up and pop down, the ones that you're always going to lose. These ones are simple. They've got a slit. Yes, there's a slit. Lovely word. And that's where you can pop your Isofix points in there. Recessed seat belts, mind you, I don't think they'd want to go anywhere anyway. And to be honest, loads and loads of headroom. I'm really shocked at that. I wasn't expecting that. Legroom, decent, not bad. No transmission tunnel whatsoever. I mean, it's literally non-existent. It's almost like being in an electric car. It's that low, which is really nice. I've got to say, I think I'd be okay in the back of here for an hour or so. So there you have it, guys. That was the Kia Picanto. Well, still is. I'm still driving it. What an amazing little car. I've been pleasantly surprised about this car. And I think Kia's new attitude, this, you know, trying to make this more acceptable for a larger audience rather than just your, you know, newly passed drivers and your older driver, your more mature driver. I think this is definitely going to nail it in a certain segment, especially, you know, the discerning sort of 20-plus-year-olds that we now have that would probably appreciate the value for money you're getting out of this car, plus the comfort and the versatility. And don't forget that all-year, you know, that 7-year warranty as well. That makes a lot of sense when you're buying one of these cars. So in a way, yes, I think Kia have nailed it when it comes to the wider audience gap and the wider audience market. The proof is in the pudding though. Get down to your showroom and give one a test drive and see what you think at the end of the day. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them in the box down below. One of us will get back to you in due course. If you could give us a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it, because although I don't get a major bonus or any increase in my salary, I do get a pat on the back from the boss every time you give me a thumbs up, and that keeps me in a job. And these days, that's important, as you'll hopefully appreciate. Don't forget, subscribe if you want to. Leave the bell sign unchecked. There are plenty of videos that are going up on a weekly basis, because we aren't just a YouTube channel. We have a whole diversity of different subjects that we cover as part of The Player. And The Player, this is your chance now to get yourself your hands on something for free, the player is a 220-page bookazine. A bookazine is a magazine with a hardback cover that comes out on the same frequency as a magazine. Just thought I'd explain that one very quickly. If you would like the online version of the player, 220 pages of fun-filled, book for men, us guys, male lifestyle, then just head over to theplayer.co.uk. It's coming up here now. I'll leave it up for a few secs. There is no catch, there's no forms to fill in, it's just stick your name in and your email. No data capture. You can then download it or you can read it online at your leisure. And it is completely free of charge. Like I say, you watch me on the Player YouTube channel, so you get access to that book online. There you go, simple as. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll be back next week with something else. I don't know what else it is this yet. I don't know what it is next week. So we're, keep your fingers crossed. I'll still be here. I will be. I hope. See you later, guys.